So you have awakened and you have discovered narcissism. You have just found out that you have been involved with a narcissist or even narcissists for the longest of time. So it's a new term for you. You didn't even know that narcissistic people existed. The only thing you could see when you was out of the house was people moving around, doing different things, and you didn't know that there was narcissists. So you didn't even know that narcissism existed on this planet. So you are tapping into you're coming into a new awareness. You have just tapped into another level of consciousness. This level of consciousness has opened up this spiritual realm. Your eyes could only see the physical. But now you realize that once you have gone through this awakening, you have started to see these narcissistic people everywhere. And your mind has been opened up to a new level. You have accessed higher consciousness. You have also found out that there is so much these narcissists have been hiding from you. So there's a lot that your husband never told you. It can be for two reasons. They could have known who they were. They didn't tell you that. Or they did not know who they were, but he was dating a person who was like, there's also lesser narcissists who are not kind of aware. They are narcissists, but they're not aware. So you started connecting the dots. You have connected the dots, and everything is adding up. Everything is adding up, and you can connect events, situationships, people, places, and everything makes a lot of sense. You are now going down this rabbit hole of narcissism. And it's getting more interesting now because you have started walking back many years ago. You have seen that your parent, one of your parents, or two of them, was actually narcissists because they fit in the shoes fit, because you now know what the shoes look like and the shoes fit properly. They fit these people. You are now seeing these parents was narcissists. So you might even sometimes get into a second awakening. You're still moving down the line and you see there is some friends you had in those days. There was narcissists. Are you guys following the video now? And then you see now your teacher was a narcissist. Now, there's a lot of you guys Bible scholars. You have seen in the Bible those guys who used to marry 300 women and stuff like that, those kind of kings and whatever. You guys give us those links. The Bible scholars, let us know which ones. The ones who used to marry 300 women and those things in the Bible. Now the religious guys, you are now understanding. There's been narcissism in your religion that you believe in. There's been narcissism in the Bible from the beginning. I don't know when the Bible was written, but there's things that you can put together and you realize there was narcissists in the Bible. You're now starting to realize that actually these narcissists, they are the ones who crucified Jesus. They are the ones who crucified Jesus. Jesus was the chosen one. They're the ones that crucified Jesus. You're now going down the rabbit hole and you're seeing people, not everybody, not everyone, many people that have been walking in and out of your life, those people have been narcissists. Some was not aware, some was aware, but there was narcissists. You're now seeing. So that means that your eyes are now starting to open. Okay, that veil has been lifted. Because those are the things, what happened when the veil is lifted. When the veil is lifted, you are coming into a different awareness of things that you wasn't told. You are now seeing all these secrets that your husband has been keeping from you for the last 20 years. And you never had the chance to know the person that you've been dating for all this time. You're going down the rabbit hole and you're seeing the reason as to why that neighbor of yours did something to you that you couldn't explain at the time. It's now starting to make sense why you run into somebody who said something. Is now starting to add up. You're adding up all these pieces together, and it's making so much sense. You're now starting to see that house that you rented. There was this boss that you could see behave a certain way, and you're adding up these pieces, and you're seeing that this boss was a narcissist, the landlord. I'm not saying all landlords are narcissists, but I'm talking about if the shoes fit, so just wear the shoe. If the shoe fits, then I'm talking to you. So you're adding up the pieces and you're seeing a cycle. How did these people keep on tracking you? It felt like there was people tracking you from person to person, place to place, maybe country to country. It was just different settings, different people, similar energy. So you see now that you have already started gaining a different level of consciousness, because now you no longer think the same way that you used to do. Back in the days, you would see people, but now you have started recognizing energy, and you have been seeing that energy that has been flipping from person to person, hopping from person to person, and wherever you went, you were seeing that similar energy in a different person. And the pieces, the puzzle fits. You've been adding up all these pieces and the puzzle fits. It's making sense. So your guards are up now, and you are starting to protect yourself. You're like, okay, you're not going to deal with this. You're going to take some more time to understand these energies, what has been happening. So you are kind of getting more protective of your own personal energy at that time. What is even more shocking for you could be things like, so this person messed up with your head. You could have been dating a person who almost could have gotten you killed. Did you actually know that sometimes when you've been with these narcissists, sometimes you hear things like, go and kill yourself? They can tell you those kind of things, go and kill yourself. I wish you was dead, those kind of stuff. Because for them, death is like, I don't know, death is like, for them, I don't know the best word to use for this. They talk about death like it's, have you seen a narcissist who told you things like, oh, the ex passed away, she died, she had gone to visit her parents and she passed on, and they're having a coffee, they are, maybe they're smoking a cigarette, or they have, they're talking about it casually. Somebody passed away and it's a casual thing for them. It was not anything special. So you're adding up all these dots and it's making sense. Everything fits in its own place. And you're realizing how deep the rabbit hole goes. And these narcissists, now that you see them everywhere, because one of the things you're going to see, chosen ones, is that you're going to start seeing this network of narcissistic people. They're everywhere. You will see them in the shops, you will see them in schools, you will see them in hospitals, you will see them at the doctor. You are going to see them in every pocket, each and every pocket of society. So you have been the one who has been moving around from place to place. And it has been one narcissist after the other one. It was a teacher, then in the hospital there was a doctor there, then there was a psychologist, there's a therapist, then there is this. Even some of you are starting to figure out that your leaders, your own leaders are narcissists. So you're starting to figure out and you're starting to understand this is deep. So the first awareness I got when I woke up after abuse, I started realizing that this narcissism is very deep. It's very deep. Ladies and gentlemen, when you start going down that rabbit hole of narcissistic abuse, you will be surprised as to how deep it can go. And it's all lies, So you don't expect to go to get some help somewhere. You have been, they're going to give you the basic little help, whatever, but they're not going to give you the help that you need. They're always going to try to give you the little basic one because you're just dealing with a narcissist. So they don't have that. It's not in their nature to give you the real genuine help that you need. So they may play around with you to fool you that they're helping you, but they're not helping you. So you're now seeing that they have been in every pocket of society, everywhere. They have been placed in different areas. And they have been quietly doing their thing. But you see, the thing is now we are waking up. A lot of people is waking up. And one of the most uncomfortable things for people now, for these people, is the guys that are starting to wake up. Because we are not taking that BS. It has been happening for a very long time and nobody is allowing to take that BS anymore. We are putting an end to it. We are refusing to participate with that BS. You're seeing how deep this whole thing can go. You're now starting to understand what is gang stalking, how these people, they work together hand in hand. You see, those people, they have like a team. They have like a network. So they identify a target. And normally they choose a person that is awakened, a person that is trying to tell their truth. So they're going to start teaming up in groups. And they're going to start gang stalking one one individual. Following you up, threatening you and intimidating you and those kind of stuff. Because they live out of fear. The fear is the narcissist playground. That's where they are. That's where they are vibrating. So they want you to place you in places that can give you a lot of fear. That's what they want for you. So you're really understanding that this whole thing is very, very deep. There's so much that we didn't know. There is so much they never told you. A lot of you guys, the church goers, you now starting to see these pastors, those church pastors who have been, telling you all these lies, stealing your money. And you're seeing things for what they are. So those guys are out there doing their thing, destroying people and abusing or whatever, doing what they want to do with people. And the victims are in clinics being treated for mental disorders. So don't you guys see that the whole thing is twisted? The whole thing is upside down, So victims of abuse are being closed up in mental institutions because the narcissists now are telling the victims they have got mental problems. So they are closing them up in institutions. And then the narcissists are the ones who are moving around free. And then the victims of abuse, they have incarcerated them, they have put them in some institutions, and they're saying that they are the ones who are crazy. So when you start to understand this whole thing of abuse, narcissism, you will get to it that it's very deep, and there's so much there's so much we wasn't told, And the wish that you have is you wish that you knew these things many years ago. It would have helped you to avoid a lot of pain, You can imagine how our ancestors lived. Those, couple of years we're talking about, let's talk about like 100 years ago. Or even 200 and so forth. Let's imagine how our ancestors lived. Because narcissism is ancient, guys. I've told you, this is an ancient illness. It's an ancient, whatever they want to call it, a disorder, whatever. It's ancient. It has been happening since the beginning of time. It has been there. Cain, that sort of Cain and Abel in the Bible. Cain was a narcissist. the one who murdered his brother. All these stories are there in the Bible. It's just because they wasn't using the right words. At the time, maybe they had a different word for it, for them. But you're now starting to see this thing is ancient. It is just recently that we have started to get the right word for it. So people now can know, okay, so this is what I was dealing with. That is the word. Because you see, the only thing that what was hidden from you was that word. A lot of you guys, when you're dealing with these narcissists and they hear you mentioning something like narcissists, they are going to gaslight you very, very quickly because they want you to forget about it. That thing happened to me as well. So they want you to forget about that word because they don't want you to get more information on that word. They want you to skip that conversation. If you're trying to talk, they're going to move out of the door because they don't want you to mention it. It's something they're keeping for themselves. It's a secret. So you can now see why the truth tellers, you're some of the most hated people by these narcissists because you're blowing their cover. Is why you're getting a lot of issues with those narcissists, because you are blowing their cover. When you're a truth teller who is telling people the truth to help people, they don't want you to help people. So they think you're the problem. That's why you're seeing them gang stalking you and moving around everywhere, spying on you everywhere, because they don't want you to say the truth. They just want to, to find out what you're doing on a regular basis. That's how deep this narcissism goes. It's very deep, ladies and gentlemen. It's deep as you can imagine. So, if you woke up, congratulations. I can promise you I've been there. I know the battle you've been fighting for all this time. I know very well all the details. For the ones that are on their healing journey, I wish you the best. I know it's very difficult to heal, but you're going to do that work. Put in that work, you will heal. Okay? Get some help. Sometimes I offer sessions as well. If you want to start your healing journey, book a session with me. We shall talk about a lot of things. For the ones of you who want to donate or support my channel, there's links in the comment section below. You guys know I'd love and appreciate your support. And I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's a boss signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.